morning, Michigan. You are about to hear live from Governor Snyder about his plan for the state to live within its means. The governor revealed his $48.2 billion budget today to state lawmakers. Some highlights include $50 million for police in cities in distress like Detroit, Pontiac, Flint, and Saginaw. Almost $200 million more for K-12 education for schools adopting the best practices idea. And universities would get 3% more if they meet performance requirements and hold tuition increases to 4% or less. Michigan is heading into the budget year in the black for the first time in a decade.
The state is dealing with several $100 million in surplus funds. The governor is with us live now in Lansing. Thank you so much for joining us, Governor Snyder.
It's great to be with you, Diana and Joanne.
Well, what is it about this budget that's so good for the state of Michigan?
Well, it's an opportunity to invest smartly. Too often it was about spending money. It's good to have a surplus, but we need to really look at results for our citizens. And so I describe this as common sense budgeting. We made great progress last year cutting the deficit, paying down long-term liabilities. Now let's build back in a constructive, thoughtful way, because we're on a path to success here in Michigan.
We talked about education increases that you've proposed, but today the Michigan Education Association released a statement about the education provisions, saying in part, I want to read this to you, "We appreciate that Governor Snyder wants to put some funding back into public education. Unfortunately, the governor's proposed increase falls short of what voters want to see, a full restoration of last year's $1 billion cut to public education." Also, the State Board of Education says it's a beginning, but more investment in education is needed. How do you respond to that, especially with the surplus? Does more need to be done?
Well, the issue isn't a spending issue, it's a results issue. We have great teachers, great administrators, but our system's been failing. And if you look at the numbers, we were 21st in per pupil spending, and we were 35th to 40th in results. That's not good enough. That says our system's not working. And we want to partner with the educational system on showing results, because it should be about student growth. So the good part is we're keeping the same amount of per pupil foundation allowance as last year, and we're adding additional dollars. We are spending more on education because it is about the kids, but it's just not about spending, it's about results. So we're really putting in incentives to do best practices and student growth. So I believe it's an exciting opportunity.
Well, Governor, with the Republicans in control of both the State House and Senate, do you expect a somewhat easy passage of the budget?
Well, the budget's a process working with the legislature, and it worked well last year. We got the budget done the fastest in the last 30 years, and we did a structurally sound, balanced budget that dealt with a $1.5 billion deficit. Given that we have the surplus and we're coming up with good, thoughtful ideas that are common sense to the average person, I hope we have a good result this year and a quick result.
Governor, I understand that you said today there are 76,000 jobs open in the state of Michigan right now, and that you want to improve education so that people are qualified for the advanced technical jobs that are open. I think someone may hear that statistic and think, then why is our unemployment rate what it is?
Well, that's why we're trying to communicate, because one of the things that we haven't done in the public sector, we've done a lot of workforce development training people, but we haven't connected people. So that's why I did a talent message last fall that we're really following up on, and I encourage anyone watching this to go to mitalent.org, which is that portal that has the 76,000 jobs, because it's just not about finding a job, it's about helping build a career. And that's what we need to do, is help our young people and anyone looking for a position. There are a lot of great positions out there. So let's connect them, get them the training they need, have them be successful. And if we filled all those jobs, we could drop our unemployment rate by almost 2 percentage points.
And Governor,
that would be exciting.
It would be exciting. I understand last year was one of the quickest budget processes that you went through in getting it approved. Time frame here, what are you expecting?
Yeah, what I'd like to see is to have the legislature finish their work by end of May, 1st of June, and get it to me so I can look at it in early June. That would be a great success, because that helps for planning for everyone, for local governments, schools, and we all win by that process. We did it last year, let's do it again.
Governor Rick Snyder, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us tonight.
Thank you, Governor.